So to start off, I'm not making this video to make anybody hate or dislike Fortnite. I don't want you to hate Fortnite, and I don't want you to hate the people at Epic Games that work there. Literally in this video, I'm just going to be sharing my mind and sharing my experiences. Now with that being said, if you guys want to touch up on anything I say during this video, just leave it in the comment section down below. I'm really interested to see what my viewers are thinking, and I want to see if they're on my side or if they're against me. Honestly, either way is fine. But remember guys, this video is literally about my opinion. Just like my opinion, you have yours. We're probably going to be different, or maybe we're on the same page, but just remember, we got to keep it respectful, boys, alright? We all got opinions, and this video is just me sharing mine. So anyways, Fortnite Battle Royale. If you didn't know, I played Fortnite from the very first day of its public release, and I've been playing it until this day. So I kind of know what I'm talking about when I talk about how the game has changed over time, considering I played from the very first day. You know, like I've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly. And to be 100% honest, because that's what this video is about, it's just me being honest, telling you guys what I'm thinking. I think we are currently in the ugly, and I think we have been in the ugly of Fortnite for quite some time now. Now, to a lot of people, that might either make you really upset, or maybe you just completely agree with me. But listen, if you guys played back in the day from like season 2, season 3, you know, around then, that was when the game was like in its prime, you guys would know that this game has definitely fallen off the grid a little bit. But it's pretty obvious the game has fallen off in some categories, as in the game just isn't what it used to be. So in this video, I'm going to be explaining the one thing, yes, I said it, the one thing that single-handedly ruins Fortnite. Now you might be thinking, like, how does one thing ruin like a complete game or something like that, right? Well, this one thing contributes to a bunch of things. It's just one main thing that changes everything in the game. Now you guys might already know what it is just from what I'm telling you, but you might not, or maybe you've thought about this a long time ago, because I've been wanting to make this video from like season 5. Actually, probably not season 5, like probably like late season 5, season 6. But I've been trying to make this video for like a long time, or I've wanted to, and I actually sat down and I recorded this video just a couple days ago, right before season 7 came out. And I thought to myself, like, hey man, listen, season 7 is gonna come out. I really wanted to make this video, but you know, what if things change, you know? And that would look really dumb if I was just saying what I think is wrong with the game and then it just becomes really good. So I don't know, season 7 came out. I'm not too impressed. Yes, there's some good things, yes, there's some bad things, and that's what we're going to be talking about today, the bad things. So listen, before I say anything bad about Fortnite, I think it has to be stated that Fortnite Battle Royale, out of all the games that I have ever played, and I'm sure a lot of you guys could relate to this too, but I think Fortnite has one of the greatest, if not the greatest concept out of any video game out there. Now that might be a little bit of a stretch, right? Because, you know, out of any game ever created, it's definitely up there, you know, like top 5 for sure. But if not the best concept out of any game, 100% the best concept out of any battle royale game, 100%. The building is just phenomenal. The whole idea of gathering mats and everything is just so perfect. Literally, if you go into like Playground and you make your own game, you play with your friends and you guys base the rules to where everybody has to play like fair, or, you know, whatever it is that you're doing, it's literally going to be so much fun. But you see, that's the problem. I literally have more fun playing Playground than I do playing online. So that is what I am here to explain. The one thing that is single-handedly ruining Fortnite, and that is the weekly updates. They literally add game-changing and game-breaking updates once a week. Now listen, don't get me wrong, having a game that is updating the game constantly is a very good thing. But have you guys ever heard of the saying, too much is not good for you? The same principle goes here. You add too many things, you have to change other things. Changing things make things unbalanced. It's almost like you're getting out of proportion, you know? It's like you're trying to add weights to what you're holding when you're barely holding on. Is that a good saying? But like I said, you know, like it's a good thing to have a game, or like creators or devs that are actually invested in the game and are constantly updating it and working on it. But I feel like with these updates that are coming out, there are way more negatives than there are positives. Now, like I said, this one thing affects many things, and that's kind of what I'm going to be talking about in this video. So we're going to be starting off with number 1. I'm not going to be labeling them. I'm just going to be, well, actually, I have no idea how this video is just going to go. I'm just going off the top of the head. But this is the biggest thing that the updates in Fortnite Battle Royale changes. Now, whether you see this as a big thing or not, you need to understand that this is probably the biggest thing with video games. Every time an update comes out, the skill gap is instantly reduced. Now, if you don't know what a skill gap is, it's basically the good players versus the bad players, right? So if you're a good player, you should be winning about 90% of your fights, you know, as long as you have good loot and RNGs in your favor and all that, you know, because, you know, sometimes things go wrong. But every single update, Fortnite keeps catering towards like the newbier players, the worst players. Now, that might be a good quote unquote business move, you know, making sure everybody is good at the game so they could keep playing, or they want to keep playing. playing. But the skill gap is such a need for a game, because why would you play a game where you know you could still be the best player in the world and still die to a person that has never picked up a controller before? You know what I mean? You see what I'm saying there? Like, it's just every single update, they keep removing or adding stuff. For example, the SMGs, the structure damage, the turrets, the quad launcher, just all the explodes, to be everything that they add is just another slash into the skill gap. I even remember reading one of their patch notes. I don't remember what patch or what season it was. It was probably like season 4 or 5, but I remember, like, and you guys might even be able to remember too if you played back then, but one of the updates, it literally said in the patch notes, like, we don't want players to resort to just build LOL. And instantly from that moment, I knew Fortnite was changing. I knew instantly, because this game went from community feedback to we don't want, like, literally quote unquote. Now, I've tried recording for this video like at least 50 times, so I don't remember if I said in this recording that Fortnite used to listen to the community, but they did. And if I didn't tell you, well, now I'm telling you, they did. For example, I don't remember what season this stuff was in, but before, like, the first shot accuracy was the thing in Fortnite, do you guys remember when they made a limited time mode based off of the next update in the game? They did that, and they literally even tweeted out saying, like, oh, listen guys, we've been thinking about adding first shot accuracy. Here's a test. You guys can go try it out. We tested it out. We saw some bugs and we replied and we gave them feedback. Based off of that feedback, the update came out and everybody was happy, or at least it was better than just forcing out an update. Nowadays, we have no idea what's happening in the update. You know why? Because they're deciding and we don't really have a say. Now listen, I gotta say, Fortnite did an amazing job listening to the community back in the days, but now I just feel like, you know, they gotten so big that it became their game instead of the community game. But in order to keep the community happy, you need to abide to the community. You know what I mean? I know there's more stuff I wanted to talk about in the skill gap range, but I don't want this video to be too long. I've already been recording for 12 minutes. I don't know how far I am into this video. I'm probably going to cut a lot of it out. It's a rant, so it might be a little, you know, off topic. I'm just going off the top of the head. But just know, the skill gap, every update is slightly reduced, and that has pushed away a lot of players. Like, a lot of people that I watch who play like CSGO, who are like pro players or play at the pro level of CSGO, they used to play Fortnite and they don't anymore because they know it's like the skill gap is gone, and that's what divides the good players from the bad players, is the skill gap. So hopefully that makes sense. So another thing that is bad with the weekly updates on Fortnite is the fact that they're just unnecessary. Now, I said, you know, season 2, season 3 was like literally the best season in the game. You know, I mean, some could consider season 4. I don't, because that was when jetpacks were a thing. That was when they started testing without like asking. They just kind of did. But season 2, season 3 was just so basic. It was so basic that it was just classic. But season 2, season 3 was so basic that it was good. You know, obviously there's stuff that needed to be fixed, but there was stuff that didn't need to. And that's the thing with these updates, you know, when they're constantly pushing out these updates for content or for new things to come into the game, it's just it's almost unnecessary, because if the game was so good, you know, of course you want to update it, of course you want to add new things, but you don't have to add a new gun once a week. You don't have to add like these crazy hop rocks or jetpacks or airplanes into the game. I think I speak for everybody when I say this. You don't need like all this flashy and crazy stuff on a game to make it good or enjoyable. You just need something that's basic, cool, balanced, and fun to play. And that's what I think season 2 and 3 were. I think like it was balanced, it was fun to play, but you know, there's so many like flashy things. I mean, honestly, I don't think like rifts were such a bad idea. I think out of all their ways of trying to like balance out transportation, I think rifts and like the carts are the best. But other than that, like the airplanes, the hop rocks, the invisible ghost block things, whatever, bro, like I don't know. I don't know why they keep trying for things when they found stuff that is working. And I feel like Fortnite, like the people at Fortnite are kind of forcing themselves to come out with stuff when it's not needed. Now, this is one of the biggest things that a lot of people, I see this on Twitter a lot of the times, that a lot of people complain about when there's a new update that comes to Fortnite. And this goes way more than just Fortnite. This goes to YouTubers, this goes to streamers. Like, I actually experience this all the time, and it's trying to please everybody. Now, if you guys don't know already, you know, I hate to break the ice to you, there's going to be people that don't like you, and there's going to be people that love you. Now, hopefully there's more people that love you than don't like you, but at the end of the day, you can't please everybody. Now, when you're like a business or a company or a group or game developers, you got to do what will please majority of the people. And it seems like every single Fortnite update or every like other Fortnite update, they either go back on something or they remove something that they've added, trying to find a balance in between people instead of the actual game. But they need to understand, with a game, game, especially at such popularity, like the more people that get to know you, the more people are gonna not like you. More people will like you at the same time, but there's gonna be negatives and positives. But like, for example, right, like the C4s, everybody hated C4s. They just hated. Nobody liked C4s. Like, they were just in the game, and it's almost like all this OP stuff, like you have to use, or else you're at a disadvantage yourself. You know what I mean? Like, you have to do it. C4s, like, nobody liked them. Everybody wanted them gone. It took them forever to get rid of it. They just kept nerfing it and nerfing it and nerfing it. No, people just wanted it gone. So eventually they're like, all right, fine, we'll take it out of the game. They took it out of the game. 2 weeks later, they bring dynamite. The same thing, if not better. I mean, it can't explode like when you blow it up, but it's just like they're going back on what they were doing because they're trying to please everybody. I'm telling you, it has to be. And you know, going back on stuff that you add is a good thing, but it's not a good thing if it's not asked for. You know, for example, the llama, dude. Remember when the llama used to give you 500 each material for 1500? Now it gives you 200 each. It's like, who in their right mind would ask for that? Or like chests, they used to give you 30 wood or like 30 brick or metal, and now they give you 20. It's like, why? You know, and they just are slowly cutting down and away from the core mentality of the game that people came to the game for, which is the building, and they're trying to take that away. But that was kind of like more like season like 5, 6-ish. So hopefully I explained that well enough to where you guys feel where I'm saying. Like, I mean, this video is really hard for me to make. I'm trying to not come off like offensive. I'm also trying to make sure you guys understand me, and there's just so much like on my mind when it comes to this game. Like, this game is such a big part to my life. Like, I really owe a lot to this game, but at the end of the day, man, if it's not broke, don't fix it. So this is another reason why updating the game is a bad thing. Pretty much talked about this a little bit in the last topic. When there's something unbalanced or broken, for some reason it takes them forever to remove it from the game. For example, the jetpacks, that was in from like the start of the season to the end for some reason, or like, you know, a quarter of the season to the end. Took them forever. I don't know why they wouldn't remove it. What else? The C4. I mean, look at the game right now. Like, the AK is insane, bro. It does like 92 headshot, and I swear that gun has like a bigger hitbox on the head because it's so easy to hit headshots. I mean, look at the heavy sniper. There's weapons that do 150 damage. That takes away from like a medkit and minis, bro. Like, there's no point to even use minis anymore unless you find a big shield. I mean, obviously not, right? Like, that's not true, but you see what I'm saying? It's the same thing with like traps. Like, why? Like, they keep changing the traps. That was a good example for the last topic, right? It went from 75 damage to 100 to 125 to 100 or whatever it was, but they keep changing it, or to 150 actually, I think. But that's insane. Like, all these high damage weapons, like, I mean, they're good to have, but there's so many of them. And the thing is, these guns like literally make like anything that you have useless. And when I say anything you have, I mean like health. Now listen, I don't know about you guys, but if you're at like 150 HP, I really feel like you shouldn't be able to die to anything like one shot unless it's a sniper headshot, or maybe a point blank, like literally point blank, like shotgun headshot shot. Wow, that's a weird one. That's just my opinion, because like I feel like in games, especially battle royales, if you're able to die so fast, I feel like that takes away the enjoyment of the game. You know, there's a difference between fast paced and just like fast damage. You know what I mean? Because if you just die instantly without being able to like react, I don't know, it's kind of you know. But I mean, okay, that's kind of a different topic, I guess. Not really, but at the end of the day, you guys know what it's like when there's something unbalanced or when they need to fix it. For some reason, it takes them forever to change it or to remove it until further notice. But that doesn't make sense because they're constantly updating the game once a week. You see, it's like these unbalanced things are getting pushed on top of these other unbalanced things with even more unbalanced things because of the weekly updates. It doesn't make sense to me. I feel like they're trying too much. So much change in such a little amount of time, which is kind of the whole point of this video. So finally, we are on the last part of this video, and there's actually 2 parts, but they kind of are the same, so I'm just gonna say them as one but both at the same time. The game is literally a different game after a patch because of the things they change during the patch. Now, you could base that information off of pretty much everything that I said in this video prior. You know, like, the game's just a completely different game once a week. And the last thing, which is kind of the same thing or falls into the same category, is the pro scene. Now, I bet you with a lot of guys listening to this video, you probably didn't even think about the pro scene once or at all. Now, I want you to imagine with the game changing once a week. Let's just say if you're a pro player, right, and you're in a competition, you're playing for literally hundreds of thousands of dollars because, you know, Fortnite spoils those competitions, you know what I mean? So you're playing for hundreds of thousands of dollars just competing at a Fortnite event. But every week, the game is drastically changing. It's like you have to restart once a week to figure out what they put into the game and to figure out how you can apply that as a pro player against other pro players. You have a week's notice, maybe less, depending on when a tournament is. I don't know if I'm explaining this well, but just think about it like this. If you're playing for hundreds of thousands of dollars and the game keeps changing, I mean, you could literally be a god on one patch and just suck on the next one because you can't adapt to the changes. I don't know how I would be considered a pro player if the game just keeps changing, because it's too much. I feel like, to just adapt to the game changing constantly. And like this stuff even happens like when they're at events. For example, you guys remember the cube when it was going around the map? The cube had like that no gravity circle thing over by Fatal, and that went on during a live competition for hundreds of thousands of dollars. Like I don't know, I would be furious if that happened and if I was affected by that, because like that's changing hundreds of thousands of dollars on the line for a tournament that you've been practicing for, and they throw in a twist like this. Like, I don't know, man. Like they need to chill out with that, in my opinion. That's the only thing I would be mad at. But like, I mean, I don't compete in that stuff, you know, or at least not yet. But I feel like it had to go out there. I feel like I had to say it because it's another thing that it affects. And with the game just being a different game once a week, I mean, I don't know how these guys do it. I mean, obviously the core gameplay is pretty much the same, but like there's little things that get you killed, man, and can change the outcome of a game. And it's just so much to where I don't know. It's just insane. But listen, guys, I think that is going to wrap up this video. I mean, I hope I explained everything well. If I edit this video and I don't think I explained it well, this won't be a video and you won't be hearing my voice right now. But if I did, then I hope I explained it well enough. Hopefully you guys understand what I'm saying. Please, if you guys want, leave in the comment section down below what you guys felt, or like if you think you agree or disagree with me, let me know and we could have a discussion, or I could just see what you're talking about. I'm very interested to see what you guys said. Now, like I said, I wasn't making this video to bash on Fortnite or Epic Games. Don't just stop playing because of them. Don't stop watching or supporting Fortnite creators because of that. Now, I really think Fortnite can come back from this. I think we're in the ugly right now for Fortnite, and I think we've been in the ugly for a while, but I think Fortnite will go back to its old roots. I think it will change. I just think it's a matter of time. I'm drained. Can't wait to edit this. This is going to be really boring, but it's okay because, you know, I felt like it needed to be done. I wanted to say what I had to say. So listen, with that being said, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I can't say it enough, man. I hope I explained everything correctly, and hopefully everything's transparent between you and I. I love you guys. Subscribe if you're new. Like the video if you enjoyed. And that's it. I love you. I guess social media in the description. I love you. Goodbye. Yeah. All right. I suck at outros, bro.